Hey, today's topic is harmony. Harmony, something almost everybody talks about sometimes, at some time. Um, and perhaps we know what harmony is, perhaps we don't know what harmony is. Mostly, like most things, we think we know what it is. Um, but thoughts coming from words, and words can never tell the whole truth because the truth is larger than words, right? You can never get everything in there. Um, so harmony often equated with balance, you know. But for me, balance is like a steady state, you know. It's like you're balancing something, and then all of a sudden it's balanced. Boom. It's stable, stays. Um, but to me, harmony is not a stable state. Harmony is a continuation of balance to imbalance, right? So my view on this is that harmony exists always. There's a constant harmony. How you perceive harmony obviously is related to your perception, which is based on who you are and where you are. Um, we're human beings first, or maybe not first, but we're human beings, and you can look at harmony from a human perspective. Right now, it looks like the humans are in an unbalanced state um, with regard to the environment. We have racial problems. Also, it implies an imbalance. And there's even people being violent. You might say that this is not harmony. But remember, going from balanced to unbalanced is harmonious. Um, so, if you think about, for example, the root of the word harmony, my good friend Demetrius told us the Greek myth about this, but for me, I looked it up to find the root of the word, and there it said joining, coming together, right? So what is it that's coming together? When anything's come together, we have relationship. And I always talk about relationship is what the universe is. So think about so-called opposites, the dualistic perspective of things. Let's say, okay, let's take rest and unrest. Okay, so in a society, we can go from times of societal upheaval, like is happening now, or many places. But that is only to come back to a balance that has been disturbed through oppression. So even though it appears things are chaotic and unharmonious, in the larger picture, it may well be this is what is needed in harmony. And of course it is this way, you know, because just look, there's harmony everywhere. If you listen right now, maybe you can hear the rain. You know, and in America they have an expression, don't rain on my parade. Yeah, but on every parade some rain will fall, so to speak. And even for me, maybe the rain is just spoiling my day. But look at all this other life out here. They're loving it. No water, no life. So it's kind of not only a matter of perspective, but also scale, right? Scale in size and scale in time. So space and time. The harmony in space. So maybe in my mind, I have a conflict. Something I can't resolve, and it's eating me up, you know? But at the same time, if you zoom out enough, here it is. You got the whole universe spinning in this beautiful spiral, or this whole galaxy, right? And all these galaxies are interrelating, and sometimes they crash together. Is that destructive? Well, it's just part of what's going on, right? And if you look at the dance of things, the two partners coming together, seemingly separate, having a relationship through dance, for example. So if you want to think about harmony, look at the dance. If you want to see disharmony, look at the time that person stepped on your toe when you're dancing. So, ouch, my toe hurts. That person is no good. You create a conflict. But if you can get beyond the individual and come together in the relationship, you stop looking at the dancer and you see the dance, right? And the dance is a beautiful thing, or maybe it's an ugly thing, whatever. But it has a harmony. Who is going to define what is harmonious? Is it going to be me, some white dude in Norway, or is it going to be a black man under the knee of a police officer? That doesn't look harmonious at all. And in that perspective, it is not harmonious. But where do we look? Should we take my perspective? Should we take his perspective? Should we take a greater perspective of time in America, which maybe in 50 years we'll see that this was the greatest thing to bring balance back? Who knows? So it's going from one side to the other side all the time. And this is the harmony in it, right? It's not just one side or the other side, but it's the flowing from one to the other. This relationship of apparent opposites coming together, moving together, and creating something more than each individual. So to think about if harmony is there all the time, I don't experience harmony all the time. What's the matter with me? Well, there's nothing really the matter with you. The reason that you cannot experience the harmony has to do with your perspective. Okay? So how can we come closer to a greater perspective that we can more often experience harmony? There's different ways to do this, right? And these YouTube clips I'm doing, they're mostly mental games, right? So you take it to a physical level. But as far as contemplation goes, take a tree. Okay, that tree back there maybe is just living there. It sprouted there. It's growing there. Nobody's bothering it. It's getting watered. It's got its carbon dioxide from the air. Plenty of light. It's harmonious, is it not? But then comes a guy comes on and says, "Well, that tree, I need some firewood," and they cut it down. It's gone. Well, now I got firewood though. Now I can keep my house warm. A warm house is nice and there's harmony in the home, right? As far as that tree goes, it's been turned to ashes. Okay, those ashes are going to end up someplace. Will they contribute to the greater good or something? Probably, because that's the way it works, right? There's a cycle of things. Everything is cycling. The life and death cycle, the cycle of water, the cycle of air. Yeah, so it's going around and around and around. So perhaps harmony cannot be measured by the dancer. Perhaps it can't even be measured by the dance. Perhaps harmony is just life, being. Yeah. So I feel harmony every day, but not all day long, because my perspective goes in and out. But I have the ability to go beyond myself occasionally, not always. And then all I have to do is listen. It's beautiful. The rain, the birds. Okay. We have an internal harmony, the body, pumping blood, breathing, taking care, overcoming illness, injury. We have an outer harmony, the nature, the flow of things. Can I make these the same thing? Can I flow with the ways of nature? Would I take myself out of that flow and oppose it? That would be an experience of disharmony for me. Perhaps in the greater good, there's still harmony there anyway. My position is that there is always harmony. But if I pull myself out of it, I will experience disharmony. So I need to be able to have the wisdom, the awareness, to know what is from my own perspective and what is the greater perspective. Practice. Think that you're a tree. Think you're an ant. Imagine yourself to be a bird, or your neighbor, or a black man under the knee of a policeman. All these things will help you increase your awareness of the whole situation, and then perhaps you will be able to see the harmony, which is life. Okay, peace.